All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You know, it's crazy. If we fast forward a few months, especially you guys already know, those of you who watch me here, I'm part of a lot of shows, especially Xbox shows, and we talk about PlayStation and Xbox. And of course, you know, the conversation a few months ago was, oh, Sony is clearly not the same. Sony is afraid. Sony's not with the times. Sony's going to copy what Microsoft's doing because they're leading the way with services. Sony's going to do day and date like Game Pass modules because that's the future of gaming. And yet, you know, we're here now after one hardware reveal, which was the PS5, and things have changed beyond the point where it's not even a conversation anymore. It can't even be considered a conversation anymore. So what's going on? You guys might be wondering. Well, this goes back to what we said before on the channel. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate everybody who's new here. Welcome to the channel. But this goes back to what we talked about before on the channel about Sony approaching multiple third-party developers. It turns out not only did Sony approach multiple third-party developers, they pretty much approached everybody in the industry for third-party deals. And one particular deal that's been going around for PlayStation 5 in terms of exclusivity is GTA 6. Now, me personally, again, you guys who watched the video, you guys heard me say it live, I kind of brushed it off because I figured GTA would not really be the best move for them to get because it's always done great as a multiplat. But then I have to think about one particular thing. The fans who are diehards and loyal to that franchise, regardless, it doesn't really matter. They'll gravitate to that game no matter where it is, you know, if it's exclusive or if it's on multiple platforms. And when you take into the consideration that this game is probably going to be coming out in 2023 and Microsoft is going to have what? More than likely, Microsoft's going to have Hellblade 2. They're going to have Avowed, and they'll probably have a few other games from their first party, like State of Decay 3 in 2023, right? These are these games. It would be probably like the ultimate like sword and shield type of approach to destroy those first party games. Now, granted, again, let's just look at the stats here, right? GTA is it's a well-established franchise. GTA 5 has made more money than any game on the market so far, period. Right? The amount of money that Rockstar has made with GTA 5 can pretty much fund the series for another 40 years. You know what I'm saying? They can literally go on as long as they possibly need to with just the money they got from GTA 5. It's unheard of, the amount of money they got, you know? But when you look at what they're going against in 2023, like games like Hellblade 2, now granted, a lot of dudes who are hyping up Hellblade 2 like it's going to be revolutionary didn't play the first one. I played the first one, platinumed it. I thought it was great. And I know for a fact that Ninja Theory is probably going to do even greater with the game now that they have the proper budgeting, you know? I expect a great game from them. But to say that that's going to compete against a GTA 6, I'll be saying, no, it's not. It's not competing against a GTA 6. The same thing goes for Avowed. And the same thing goes for State of Decay 3. Again, State of Decay 3, from what we saw in the CGI trailer, okay, you know, that's nice, but they have a lot to show. They have a lot to really show, you know, to really get us back into good terms with that franchise. But after the last one, nah, I'm not feeling State of Decay 3 anytime soon. So this kind of goes back again to what Sony's doing and this new Sony that a lot of people were trying to push an agenda for. Remember, they said Sony was scared. Sony can't afford this. Sony's not going to go that route because, you know, they don't have this. If Sony dropped $800 or $750, sorry, on a deal with Grand Theft Auto 6, and that is exclusive. And granted, it might not be an exclusive for a year. It could be exclusive longer than a year. Because remember, what was the budgeting for GTA 5? $500 million. If Sony gave them $700 million, they pretty much helped fund the game. That means that deal could be a lot longer than a year. If Sony legit bought GTA 6 for a PlayStation 5 and they're going to use GTA 6 as a, you know, another stellar title to push the hardware, there really is no comparison on what's going to happen. Let me tell you right now, there's no comparison in terms of competing with that. And there's no comparison that anyone can make where it says like, oh yeah, this side cares more about this. Let me tell you, Sony's in the market to sell hardware, and it clearly shows with their aggressiveness with the hardware. Sony's not just about software sales. They're not just about subscription sales. They are primarily hardware focused. Hence why, if you look at what happened with the PC just recently with Horizon Zero Dawn going to PC, right? It's not the perfect port. A lot of people are expecting a perfect port. They're not prioritizing PC. If it was Xbox, that right there would have ran like a dream. Why? Because they're treating PC gamers like hot commodities over their main audience. This clearly shows their disconnect. And this clearly shows who cares about what. Microsoft cares strictly about software as a service growth, hence why they changed their entire metrics, and they got rid of certain things that a lot of you didn't think they were going to get rid of. For example, the yearly requirement for gold. Remember, you can't pay $60 a year anymore. No, now you're going to be paying over $100 a year with Xbox Live Gold because you either have the 3 months for $25 or you have a month for like 10 or 12. You're paying over $100 a year just for what you already been having for the longest. Microsoft is clearly trying to just, get as much money as they possibly can out of their consumer base while still offering you very, very little. And why I say they're offering you very, very little. So far, there's only one game that we know that we're going to get at launch for Xbox Series X, and that is Halo Infinite. Other than that, that's it. All the other games that we saw and heard of don't have release dates. Let me tell you why. Because a lot of these games just started development, and they're not going to come out until 2023. So if Sony sees that and they sign a partnership with Rockstar to get this game exclusive to PlayStation 5 to compete with those lineups for 2023, I think you can get where I'm going with this. There's really nothing that can compete with them right now. If you look at the start of the gen, Sony will have what? Miles Morales. What else is Sony looking to have in the launch window? Ratchet and Clank. What else is going to be coming for PS5? Horizon Zero Dawn, which is probably 2021. Early 2021, that is. You see what I'm saying? This just goes to show that Sony is focusing strictly on what matters and is pushing the hardware while also giving the developers the tools to make the games that we want. If you look at the Unreal Engine 5 demo, it's the reason why I don't get into this demo no more, because this demo really does silence so many people. A lot of people are going, oh, that demo can still be done on Xbox Series X. Yeah, but here's the thing. Why did they choose PS5 to showcase it first? Was it because of a partnership? No. This game was easier to put together. Keep in mind, this demo that they put on the screen, that Unreal Engine demo, was made like in 3 months on PlayStation 5. Are you not seeing the jump here from PS4 to PS5? That is how easy Sony has access to resources for developers. That is how easy PS5 is easy to access when it comes to all the features. This PlayStation 5, let me tell you, man, Sony's not playing no games with PlayStation 5. I know a lot of people talk about 12 T-flops. This 12 T-flops argument died, just like the mindshare argument. And just like the anti-consumerism argument. All these agendas have fallen flat on their face. And we're still back to square one, by the way. I hope you know this. We're still back to square one. Dudes are hyping up Gears of War 5 on Xbox Series X. As if we didn't play Gears of War 5. You know what I think of when I hear people hype up Gears of War 5 for Xbox Series X? I think of Tomb Raider, or especially Rise of the Tomb Raider, for Xbox One X. Yeah, you didn't think I was going to make that comparison, did you? No, of course not. But I think about that. This game looks better on this new one. It's like, well, it's an older game, and honestly, it's already... anybody who wanted to play Gears of War 5 at its highest form and capacity has already jumped the PC and played it on there. Let me tell you why. Because I've actually played it on PC. And I shocked a lot of people when I gave it a 9 out of 10. Or did I give it an 8? No, I give it a 9 out of 10 in a review. Because I played it on PC. So I don't get what the comparison is when what dudes trying to say that this is going to change, opinions. I don't know where people are getting this, but Gears 5 is not changing the game, and the damn sure ain't changing the narrative. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I don't want to come off as harsh, but I gotta keep it real with you. That's just not going to do anything. Halo Infinite has become the biggest meme of 2020. Dudes thought I was joking when I made that title, and then you go to Twitter, you go everywhere. It's synonymous. You know? Dudes was talking about Last of Us Part 2. They were sharing the leaks. The same dudes that were sharing all the leaks, try to be ignorant towards PlayStation, are the same dudes crying about the Craig leak, saying, oh, it's not fair. It should not happen. Yet, I told you morons in videos. Karma. It's a bitch. Karma will come back to you. And you don't want to be around the PlayStation community when that karma comes around. And what's funny about that show even more, to the people who all of a sudden made me look like the bad guy in the mix of this, right? What did I say before we even started that show? And it's still on the channel. You guys can check it out yourself. But what did I say before we got into the Xbox Series X showcase for the first party? I said it live on the channel. I hope the show is good, because let me tell you something. If the show is not good, the internet is not going to be kind. And this show is going to be a direct reflection of that if it does not. You know what I'm saying? If it doesn't blow us away. Dudes thought I was bluffing. Not even 24 hours. It was like 3 hours later. You got this big downward decline in their reaction from the fans. You tell me who's catering more to their audience and who has their audience, more excited. Is it Sony with the PlayStation 5, or is it Microsoft with the Xbox Series X? There is more excitement, there is more talk, there is more hype going into PlayStation 5 than there is an Xbox Series X. And granted, those who sit in their own little circles might say that, and might feel that Xbox is doing great, and that's fine. If you like Xbox, you like Xbox. But unfortunately, in the real world, the big world here, Sony has the narrative. Sony's controlling the whole thing here. In order for Microsoft to make a massive comeback, Microsoft has to be aggressive. And unfortunately, Microsoft has not been aggressive. Hell, I just did a live stream yesterday with the Xbox 2020 being canceled. For those of you that do not understand what Xbox 2020 is, Microsoft had a scheduled plan for 2020 where they were going to do a bunch of big shows. Do y'all remember this? They said big shows. No small intermediate announcements, just big shows for Xbox Series X. From the teardown, from the first look, from the controllers, all that. It was all going to be in big shows to first party to third party games. They have canceled that. They said now they're going to be flexible with their announcements. In other words, they don't want to announce anything anytime soon. Why? Because of the bad reaction from Halo Infinite and the fans. They have to be super careful now on what they talk about. And granted, we're getting ready to get into the launch of these systems. Holiday is upon us. Hope y'all know this. We're like 3 months away from the holidays. And so we don't really have any excuses at this point. We don't. But watch them be super quiet from this point forward on a lot of their announcements. They're talking about small release announcements. Since when the hell did Microsoft care about small announcements, guys? To all you in the chat, since when did Microsoft care about small announcements? Microsoft was all about going big or go home, remember? Yeah, I guess not. I guess that changed. I guess we all forgot about that. But hey, mindshare. Hey, anti-consumerism, right? Okay. Anyway, man, things have changed. Microsoft has not changed. I'm on record. No hater can say I wasn't for, wishing them the best. I had a lot of PlayStation dudes calling me crazy for even wishing them the best, but I was hoping, I was begging for Microsoft to change it around and give Sony the proper competition that they need so that all of us can prosper as gamers. But unfortunately, I will not buy another Xbox product. I will never buy another Xbox. I will never support another Xbox. If I ever do get into an Xbox-centric game, it will be on the PC. And speaking of the PC and the setup, that'll be updated on the 28th. So expect some big things to change on this channel and how I produce it and how I go about it. A lot of things are going to get crazy. I know I haven't been super aggressive, especially gaming-wise, right? I haven't even beaten Ghost of Tsushima all the way yet. I'm still slacking on that. I'm still trying to catch up, but I'm literally doing so much outside the scenes here that it'll shock you when we get to the end result. But honestly, though, that's it, though. My faith is shattered in Xbox until I see proper change. And until that proper change happens, hey, so be it. I don't want to hear nothing about T-flops. I don't want to hear nothing about specs. I don't want to hear no 5-year-old talk about how they got the 15 studios. Because we clearly can see with the 15 studios that none of them none of them are pointing out anything that is competing with what PlayStation's doing. And that right there is the sad, sad truth of what's going on and the significance of what Sony is doing to win the next gen. This is Big Cloud. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you next time. Later.